If you're struggling to grow on social media, it's probably because you are not creating niche-based content. The secret to success is not about just posting random videos hoping one is gonna go viral. Rather, it's more about being so specific on what your niche is so that your content hits and you become the known expert in your field. In this video, I'll be breaking down the exact strategies that I've used over the past 10 years from being on social media, more specifically, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And by the end of this, you will know exactly what to post, how to grow, and how to build a solid community on social media. Step number 1 is find your niche. This is usually the hardest thing for creators because we want to help everyone. And when we're helping everyone, we're speaking to no one. So I teach my clients something that's called the MOVE method when finding your niche. The M stands for the mindset of your client. O, overlooked pain. V, the vision of your client. And E, embodiment. So let's break this down. Let's talk about what exactly is a niche, right? So a niche is so much more than just how old they are, where they live, where they shop, what their gender is. That's very bro marketing niche. When I teach niching down and finding your client avatar, your ideal avatar, the people that you want to work with in your business is more about getting in the psyche of your client. It's more about knowing what is it that they're keeping themselves up at night. What are they scrolling that they don't even realize? And we're able to come in through our content and speak to them and give them what it is that they need. So your niche is basically a problem that you solve. So coming back to the MOVE method, M stands for the mind of the client. So really tapping into how your client buys, what's in her psyche versus what her demographics are. So understanding how she reacts to stress. What does she do when she's stressed out? How does she make decisions? How does she buy? Is she a fast buyer? Does she overthink? Does she overanalyze? And here are some key questions that you can actually ask yourself when you're diving into the mindset and the psyche of your client. How does he or she make decisions? How do they overthink? Does she overthink? When she's out and about shopping, what goes through her head before she clicks the buy button? Does she buy from abundance or does she buy from lack? If you don't understand her mind, your content is going to miss her every single time. O stands for overlooked pain. So now we're getting into what her pain point is. And again, back to bro marketing, most people teach, speak to their pain point, speak to their pain point, speak to their pain point. If you only speak to their pain point, you're going to attract people who need therapy and savings instead of coaching and growing. So the V stands for vision, which we're going to talk about. That speaks to where she's going. To tap into what her pain is, you can ask yourself things like, what does she feel shame about? What does she resist the most? What does she believe she's not good at? What does she think she's good at, but still isn't? Okay, so that's really diving into the pain. And then we want to go into V, the vision of what she wants. So you do want to speak to where she is and where she's going so that you attract the people who want to grow, who want coaching, who want to build themselves up through your own content. And last but not least, E for embodiment. You want to make sure you are an embodiment of what your niche is. So I know this can kind of sound really weird and off topic, probably something you've never heard, but you are the niche. You don't need to be super dialed in on every single thing of all the parts of her, right? You are an embodiment of her. So as long as you are teaching and you're showing up on social media from a place of embodiment, it's going to hit every time because you're teaching from a place of embodiment. So ask yourself, what are the things that took you from where you were to where you are now? And how can you add that into your niche? Maybe you talk about health and fitness. Maybe you talk about nutrition. Maybe you talk about manifestation. What are some of the key things that you talk about that you want to be known for? That's what you're going to speak to because that is your niche. Step number 2 is develop a content strategy. So if people ask me all the time, Jess, how do you post on all the platforms, or what platforms should I post on? I heard this person say something recently, and that's all these platforms are free. So why are you not taking advantage of it? YouTube is free, Instagram is free, TikTok is free. This is free marketing. Back in the day, you had to pay to be on a billboard. You had to pay to be on the side of a bus stop to promote your business. Because all these platforms are free, how can you use them and leverage them, right? So let's go and dive into each one. This is what I would recommend, right? You want to develop a content strategy. If you're planning on uploading on YouTube and you're a beginner, I recommend uploading at least once a week, because people are going to hit that subscribe button when they see you're consistent, they see you're entertaining every single week. So show up if you just upload once a month, would you hit the subscribe button to someone that uploads once a month or once a year? No, like, who is this person? This person's a nobody. She's hardly showing up, so I'm not going to subscribe so I can see her stuff because she's a one-hit wonder. At least upload once a week, and that's long form content. YouTube Shorts is something that I recommend repurposing your TikTok and your Instagram content. What does repurposing mean? Repurposing means uploading your short form content on one platform. Make sure it downloads before you save it, or go in and download it before you save it, and then upload it, repurpose it on the other platforms. Okay. So YouTube Shorts is actually one of the ways where I was able to get monetized when I first launched my YouTube channel. Before this YouTube channel, I got monetized in under 8 months, and I got majority of my views from my YouTube Shorts, because you need, I believe it's 400 watch hours. I don't remember the exact number, but you could look it up online and it'll tell you. And I got a lot of those from my YouTube Shorts. So definitely repurpose your Instagram and TikTok content to YouTube Shorts. You could set what do you need? 5, 10, 15 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. Put in your calendar, YouTube Shorts. And what helps me is having a calendar on when I'm doing these things as a reminder. Okay, Jess, repurpose content, upload this content on this platform, because I can only remember so much in my head. Now let's move on to TikTok. If you are just beginning, I recommend uploading on TikTok as much as possible. There are people that say upload 3, 5, 10 times a day. You don't have to, but I recommend uploading as much as you can, at least once per day, if not 3 to 5 times per day. Again, you don't have to, but if you want to get discovered and you want to grow quicker, upload 3 to 5 times a day. But make sure your content is value. Don't just upload just to say, okay, I did it 5 times today. Sure, you could do 1 or 2 of the posts, more of like a trendy post. Make sure it's aligned with your niche, but give value. This is how we're going to move into step number 3 in a moment. This is how you're going to build a solid community. So when you put something out for people to buy, people are just going to buy it. And now coming onto Instagram, I recommend having Instagram stories every single day. But look, you don't want to overdo it on your Instagram stories. You don't want to be the one with 20 tabs open. Sure, there might be days where you're answering questions and you have a million tabs on your Instagram story, but people have short attention spans these days. People have other things that they want to tap into. I'm sorry, but people don't want to sit there and just watch you all the time. Okay. So be intentional with your stories. Don't just do it just to have more. Be quality. Moral of the story, quality over quantity is always going to win. So I recommend anywhere between 3 to 5 Instagram stories. Don't be crazy and have like 50 Instagram stories. People are not going to watch them. Your view count is going to be low, and then your algorithm is going to suck, and Instagram is not going to push you out. As far as posting on Instagram, again, I recommend repurposing your TikTok content to Instagram. Now, Instagram is more professional. It's more nice. So also keep that in mind. I'm more real, raw, and authentic on TikTok compared to my YouTube and my Instagram. Like YouTube, I'm very professional. YouTube, this is what we're doing, how to, step by step, because that's what people come to this platform for. You clicked on this video so you could know step 1, 2, 3, 4, how to do this, how to do that. TikTok, people are just like, oh, let me just listen and fill a void. I know that kind of sounds bad, but that's why people are on TikTok. They're just like, let me consume. Versus Instagram, It's more aesthetic, right? So maybe you can upload on Instagram and take it off your regular feed and just keep it on your reels, or just be more selective on what you put on Instagram. And again, this is my personal advice, but first and foremost, always listen to your intuition. Okay, your intuition is going to be right compared to me. But if you don't know how to listen to your intuition, then you want to learn how to do that. And one way you can do that is through EFT tapping. I have videos on my page for that. Step number 3 is build a community. You need a strong community. Interact with your clients, interact with your followers. If someone comments, comment back, like their post. Take a minute out of your day to be intentional with their response. Get to know them. We're in a trust recession right now. What that means is people's trust with creators are going out the window because there's so much shit online. So how do we build that know, like, and trust factor? That's when people buy, is we connect with them. We give as much value and as much time as we can to them. And look, you are only one person. So maybe again, you put this on your content calendar and you put 20 minutes a day, respond to comments on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the things. And along with answering your comments, another way that you can build community is start a community, start a Facebook community, start a school community, start a broadcast channel on Instagram, grab their email, start an email marketing thing. I'm like losing my words. It's getting late. I filmed like 5 YouTube videos so far. So much value that I'm giving. And my mind is kind of going, oh, we're almost clocked out. But this is how you're going to set yourself apart. And if you want to manifest brand deals on social media, you want to build a community, because these brands are going to look for a loyal community, because your community is going to buy from you. And so another great point to building a community is because when you do finally put something out for people to buy, people are gonna buy it because they know you, they like you, they trust you, they want more. Another thing that helps build community is go live. Go live every single day. When I first started and growing on TikTok, I went live every single day. That's something that I'm gonna be incorporating back into my business, is going live. I'm going to start going live on TikTok, because that's how you show your face. That's how you show consistency. You build the know, like, and trust factor when people see you live. I remember when I first started my business, I would sell on TikTok live. Like, that was how I got a lot of my sales, because they would see me in real time. They would know that I am real compared to all the people on the platform reading off ChatGPT, right? Because you can read off ChatGPT live, but people really feel that energy. So step number 4 to building a powerful personal brand in 2026, master content creation. If you have not mastered content creation, let's work together, baby, because that's what I teach my clients. What I want to give you in this video is something that you can do right now. Go find 3 people in your field and study their content. Look at their most popular video on YouTube and analyze it for yourself. Ask yourself, what do you feel like stood out to you? Why did you click that? And what do you feel like you can incorporate into your content without copying, but getting inspired by them? There's this great quote that says, do not reinvent the wheel. I know when people go to law school, they also teach that. Don't reinvent the wheel. So find those top 3. Maybe I'm one of them. Study my content. What's done good for my content? What are my hooks? Study, study, study. And it's so interesting because I was talking to a one-on-one client before, and it's one of my gifts is like studying and analyzing content. I'm just really good at it. And my client's like, Jess, I have no idea how to do that. Like, this is like a gift of yours. And I'm like, okay, but it's also something I learned how to do, and it's a skill I built. So some of us are born with skills and talents, and some of us build it, okay? I wasn't just a natural when I turned on this video camera. Do you know how much content I filmed before this type of video, when I'm able to sit down and just give you guys free game easily, just let it roll off my tongue, know the title, thumbnail, all the things? It took practice, and that's how I built a skill. So along with studying the top 3 people in your field, or the 3 people that you relate to the most, when you're going to edit your content, be really heavy in the beginning of your content. What do I mean by that? Edit the beginning of your content the most. If you're posting a 10-minute YouTube video and you don't have the time to have all the B-rolls, all the sound effects, all the fonts, all the text on screen, at least for the first like 3 minutes, We want to get their attention and keep it in. So have the zoom in, zoom out, put text over screen. Again, you can study the way my content is, put some B-roll, put some sound effects. So be heavy on editing in the beginning, but don't over edit, right? Depending on how your brand is. For me, my brand is simple, but it's subtle and it's effective. So you're going to hear the sound effects here and there. So those are the 4 steps that I would take right now if I was building a personal brand from scratch in 2026. Go ahead and comment below what you want to learn next. I have so much knowledge in this brain of mine, and I want to know what you want to know so I can be of service and deliver and provide you so much value. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, if you want to work with me more closely, more one-on-one, go ahead and send me a message over on Instagram and say, hey, Jess, just watch your YouTube video. I want to know what it's like to work closer with you. If you want to grow, scale, monetize, or if you want to become certified in EFT tapping practitioner. I love you guys. Mwah. See you in the next video very soon.